New details about a young woman living in fear. 23-year-old Madison Cobb sought protection before being shot to death leaving work. Plus, battling a rainy July.
It's really, really hard to predict.
No one's floating the boat. The pitches are empty.
Kind of a truncated outdoor season.
And unexpected holes may be hiding. And the wind in your hair without all the work.
What does it feel like? Freedom.
High River seniors enjoy the ride while volunteers enjoy the exercise.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. Many questions are still yet to be answered about a shooting that killed a 23-year-old woman in a Haysboro parkade on the weekend. But we are learning more about the victim, Madison Cobb. A judge issued a restraining order against a man with whom she'd previously been in a relationship. He is also accused of harassing her. Tyler Barrow has more.
Madison Cobb is being remembered for her passion for life, pride in her work, and love for her family. In her obituary, loved ones say the 23-year-old will be deeply missed and lovingly remembered for her laughter, contagious smile, and the way she lit up every room she entered. On Saturday, Cobb was shot and killed in this parkade in the 8700 block of Horton Road Southwest. We are learning more about the terrifying weeks and months leading out to her killing. On June 10th, the courts issued a restraining order against an ex-boyfriend. He couldn't go within 100 meters of her home and her place of employment, Lacey County, located just above where she was killed. The man is also facing 2 criminal harassment charges and is scheduled to appear in court this week. In court documents obtained by CTV, Cobb details harassments of a man she broke up with on January 28th. She explains some multiple interactions, including in February when she says, "He faked being in the ICU for me to go and see him." He later confirmed he was never in the hospital. In March 2025, his aunt made me aware that he was in the hospital for stabbing himself and cutting open his stomach. I went to the hospital to support him in getting mental help. And the RCMP made us aware that he has a firearm that they were unable to find. He confirmed he had one when speaking to me. And in a text exchange, he said, "We need to talk because it's not me that's the problem. Life will get a lot easier for you. Again, no threats because I'm not the one you have to worry about." And here's how she ended her request for a restraining order that was granted. "I shake and have panic attacks when I'm out or hear my phone go off out of fear he is there. I live in fear every day from him. I want him out of my life." For Rachel Div, whose 22-year-old sister was murdered by her ex-boyfriend, the crime is chilling.
Seeing how young she was and what the steps that she took to protect herself and the fact that she was still killed is what really is so frustrating.
Tyler Barrow.
Tyler joins us now. So Tyler, what more can you tell us about the investigation?
Tara, the former partner is set to appear in provincial court here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. They are also set to appear in an Okotoks courtroom on Friday. Both instances are for harassment charges dating back to June 1st and May 30th. Now, as far as the investigation goes, one suspect has been taken into custody. However, no one has been charged or identified. Tara?
Okay, Tyler, thank you. Heavy rain caused some big problems on the morning commute. Water pooled in a number of places, and for a time, a major Calgary thoroughfare was closed. While all this rain is good for the trees and the grass, many Calgarians are feeling a bit fatigued by it all. With so few weeks to enjoy outdoor activities, it's a bit of a bummer summer. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Relentless rain turning parks into ponds and shutting down roads aren't the summery scenes many Calgarians hope for.
A little bit depressed because the weather's no sun.
I prefer a summery summer, a sunny summer.
It's not a summer at all. I wish it will be warm.
Overnight rain caused flooding, closing a southwest section of Stony Trail during the morning rush. The city of Calgary says the storm also broke pavement along Glenmore near Crowchild, and crews had to block off the area for hours after several vehicles got damaged in the rain-filled rut.
The cost would at least be $1,800, if not more. This would involve a tire change, a wheel change, and a wheel alignment.
The rain is putting a damper on outdoor sports as well.
3,000 kids had their final play day canceled due to a massive storm that rolled in at the end of June. So it's been a season-long problem.
Calgary Minor Soccer Association has had to reschedule roughly 400 games, about 10% of the season. With the season closing soon, some of those makeup games won't happen after a record year of weather-related impacts.
Last year we had 220 games that had to be rescheduled, and the majority of those were due to smoke, if you remember last year. This year it's double, and it's all down to rain predominantly.
And puddles don't inspire paddles either. A hot May and early June helped lazy day raft rentals at the start of the season.
Up until July 1st, we were on target for setting a record year. However, since July 1st hit, the rain started to come, and we're down about 30% year over year, July 1st to now.
Rain shut down the business 11 days this season, which is tough for employees and company profits. But some see a silver lining in the storm clouds.
Well, the last few years has been really dry, so I think the water and for the Bow watershed is absolutely important. The rain is bad for business, but overall for the community, the river is important and the rain is great.
And Alicia joins us from near the Bow tonight. Alicia, there is some good news for rafters in the days ahead.
There is. It's not going to stay this chilly, Tara. Lazy Day Raft Rental says even today when it was closed, when it was raining most of the day, they were still getting bookings for later on in the summer and even in the coming days. But the flooding is still causing some problems around Calgary. The city of Calgary says that it's responding to more than 170 flooding complaints, water drainage complaints. And it says that if you do see some flooding, don't drive into it because you don't know how deep it is or what hazards might be underneath. And if that flooding sticks around for 2 hours or more on your street, the storm drain could be plugged. So take a photo and submit a storm drain complaint to 311. Tara?
Okay, Alicia, thank you. Let's bring Danielle in now. This isn't our imagination. Like, there really has been a ton of rain this month.
Yes, you are right, Tara. In fact, we're at around double what we would normally get for the month of July here. So a normal amount of rain for the month of July is 65.7 millimeters. The total as of yesterday, late yesterday, was we were at 107.4 millimeters. And just this last system that we dealt with last night and today brought us anywhere, depending on where you are in the city, 26 to 32 millimeters of rain. A lot of rain in just a short amount of time, which is why it led to this. Yes, the pooling on some roads. So it was definitely, and localized flooding, it's definitely been a system. Now, I will say this, the bulk of the system is now over and done with for the city, but we're still looking at isolated showers throughout the rest of the evening, even into parts of the overnight hours, and then it clears out for tomorrow. So 10 degrees is the temperature. That's our daytime high. Also, our current temperature, 23 is what's normal for this time of year. So we are well below normal today, but look at that. We should get to normal tomorrow. We will have fog patches develop tonight and through tomorrow morning, but late in the morning and early afternoon, we're looking at a big chunk of sunshine, and that's what will help get our temperatures up. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Alberta's measles outbreak is showing no signs of slowing down, with more new cases and now an exposure alert reported this week. Doctors and infectious disease experts say the situation is critical and they are calling for stronger action from the province. Mark Villani is outside Alberta Children's Hospital tonight, and Mark, a confirmed case there is prompting yet another warning.
Tara, AHS has confirmed that someone with measles was in fact at the Alberta Children's Hospital emergency room, potentially exposing others. Now, this is really concerning given that measles is primarily spread through the air. It can linger in the air for upwards of 2 hours, and it can't be stopped with simple hand washing. It really is bringing attention the need to increase measles vaccination rates across the province, given that cases per capita in our province are amongst the highest in all of North America. Cars come and go on any typical day at the Alberta Children's Hospital, but so do the risk of infections.
That is definitely scary. It makes you think, what are they kind of doing to hopefully protect us?
Alberta Health Services says a measles positive patient visited the emergency room here on Sunday, July 13th between 10:08 a.m. and 2:14 p.m. while symptomatic. It means anyone in that area born after 1970 with fewer than 2 vaccine doses could be at risk.
It's definitely been kind of in the back of my head. I was at Stampede, and there's obviously massive crowds there.
I partly blame the provincial government for this, for not putting the attention on the matter and promoting things like vaccinations.
Alberta now has over 1,400 confirmed measles cases, the highest per capita rate in North America. 18 new cases were reported on Tuesday, the vast majority in the province's south zone. Measles vaccination rates there remain low in several communities, including Taber, where just 28% of 2-year-olds have received both doses.
There's no doubt that this is an epidemic.
Doctors want the province to officially call it that, warning that as kids return to school in 6 weeks, we could see an even sharper spike.
It takes time to book an appointment, and then the child's body needs 10 to 15 days to get to maximum protection. So book your appointment now.
The province has expanded vaccine access for infants 6 to 11 months, a group of pediatricians say is most at risk for serious complications.
So if we're looking at the risk-benefit profile, we can really see that the risks of getting the illness are much worse and more frequent than the risk of getting the vaccine.
But others say a spread of anti-vaccine disinformation isn't helping that cause.
We do have a window here to reduce the risk of other vaccine-preventable diseases by helping Albertans detect disinformation.
And that window could be closing fast. Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
AHS is asking anyone who may have been exposed to measles to self-monitor for symptoms like a high fever, runny nose, red eyes, or a rash, and then if they develop, stay home and call Alberta's measles hotline before going to any health facility. 2 pets died, but 4 people escaped a house fire this afternoon. Smoke was billowing from the home when firefighters arrived at 2:30 this afternoon. 4 people escaped the historic home, but 2 cats and a snake were missing. Only 1 cat was later found alive. Investigators say the fire started in the basement and damage to the home is significant. The upstairs neighbor says it all happened so fast.
Could see the smoke coming out from the basement, and I tried to run down to see because there were tenants leaving that basement too. By the time I walked down, it was already pitch dark.
The cause is not yet known, nor is whether there were working smoke alarms in the house.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Poplars are the most common tree in Calgary. Many of them were planted by the city 50 to 70 years ago. They are big and beautiful, but they can be destructive, with roots cracking and heaving sidewalks. Right now, if one of them is damaging your sidewalk and you want it removed, you have to pay for the removal and the replacement yourself, even if it is a city-owned tree. Councillor Andres Chabot thinks that's not fair. Chabot will be asking council to start paying and for the removal and replacement of what could be thousands of poplar trees citywide.
On an opportunity basis, especially in some areas where we've got some real problems that have been reoccurring, multiple times over the years, let's target the high needs areas first, and then look at being maybe more comprehensive in our overall replacement of those trees.
The city considers poplars to be the backbone of its urban forest, making up roughly 18% of the city's tree population. Still to come on CTV News, marking a somber anniversary, how people in Jasper are commemorating last summer's devastating wildfire. And multiple bear warnings in place in K-Country, why sightings and encounters are on the rise. Stay with us. And if you have a news tip, you can text us anytime at 10-400. Dozens gathered in the town of Jasper today to reflect on the devastating wildfire that tore through the national park, destroying homes and lives. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more on how people are recovering 1 year later.
1 year ago, wildfire ripped through Jasper National Park, destroying a third of the mountain town and surrounding areas. People here are still grappling with the loss.
It's just been an interesting year, I guess, living here post-fire. It's just everything's changed, and it'll never be the same.
On Tuesday, dozens gathered to commemorate the anniversary. More than 25,000 people evacuated the national park overnight, not knowing what they'd come home to.
We went straight through it, and there was ash falling on our brand new car, and I was just freaking out.
The events and pain still fresh in people's minds.
I remember that night so clearly, and even the weather can be so triggering when a thunderstorm comes through or when there's smoke in the sky.
Some days you feel strong and good, and other days like today, it's emotional.
Officials praise the determination and efforts of firefighters to battle the wildfire that grew to over 32,000 hectares. The day is not only a reflection of the past year and what was lost, but a chance to remember and honor wildland firefighter Morgan Kitchen, who was killed by a falling tree in firefight.
Morgan's courage and his sacrifice will never be forgotten.
After the destructive wildfire, some Jasperites chose to leave the town and start a new life elsewhere. However, 1 year later, the majority remain. Some say they stayed for community.
I think I really needed to be around community that's gone through this and understands what we've been through. It's not just about the trauma of the physical fire, it's about the loss of community.
It's been my home. My people are my people. I would feel uncomfortable going to a town that I didn't know anyone.
While the town is still recovering with a long road ahead to rebuilding homes and destroyed businesses, Jasperites remain hopeful the future is bright for the small mountain town. In Jasper, Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News.
Cool and wet weather is helping crews fight an out-of-control wildfire near Slave Lake. An evacuation alert remains in effect. The fire is still out of control, although it is slowing down. The fire is northeast of the community. The entire town is under an 8-hour evacuation notice. People in the MD of Lesser Slave River are on a 4-hour evacuation notice. Across the province, there are 62 wildfires burning. 16 are out of control. Calgarians are no strangers to hail and its potentially devastating impacts. Those who are interested got to meet the Canadian team passionate about the weather phenomenon. The Northern Hail Project, made up of researchers and field workers, hosted this free event at TELUS Spark today. It gave members of the public an opportunity to learn more about severe weather, which can produce all shapes and sizes of hail, also atmospheric science and conducting field research. Hail recovery equipment and 3D printed models of recovered hailstones were also on display. The group has been also focusing its work in the Calgary area, which is prone to severe hail events and damage.
The hailstorm we had last week, we were in the city for 3 days doing a post-storm assessment and forensic damage survey. Fortunately, it was much less intense than 2024, but still, you know, the people who are affected, it's hard for them to see it that way, right?
One of the group's goals is to present enough evidence to advocate for better building codes for homes in hail-prone areas. The Northern Hail Project is actively recruiting hail reporters to help collect data.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
A hail reporter could be virtually anyone in North Calgary.
Yep. Just pick it up, take some pictures, send it in. Because that will help. It also helps us update radar and how we can forecast things, you know, longer term anyway. All right, so talking about the weather now. Yes, no hail in the forecast. That's some good news, but we definitely have cold temperatures right now. It will be cold tonight. So 10 degrees was our daytime high today in Calgary. 23 is what's normal for this time of year, and we're now at 10 at this point. And basically, we've struggled to get into the double digits, as you can see in many communities here. So it's been a chilly one. It will be much warmer tomorrow. In fact, pretty much all of southern Alberta can tack on 10 degrees for tomorrow. So we'll get a good amount of sunshine in many communities, and that will help the temperatures climb. Before we get to those warmer temperatures tomorrow, it's the cold ones. So frost advisory in place for Cochrane over to Airdrie and up to the Rocky Mountain House area. So damaging frost is certainly possible tonight as these areas dip to the freezing mark overnight tonight. Calgary, we're looking at dipping down to 6. Yes, that's not a July low, absolutely. All right, in Medicine Hat and South, we have that air quality advisory in place. So we've been on the higher risk part of the scale, and I'll show you that right here. So we've been around a 7 and an 8 Medicine Hat and South for today. The good news is, though, is that while it's cleared out of much of southern Alberta, Calgary is at a low risk today and will continue to be tomorrow. At least this will make its way out tonight and put you more at the moderate level, 4 or 5 for tomorrow, especially by the afternoon hours. So things will be improving while you're sleeping and throughout the day tomorrow. And then all of southern Alberta looks pretty good for air quality tomorrow, mainly in the low risk. For most areas in the southeast corner, you're looking at moderate. Okay, radar and satellite. This is the last big chunk of consistent rainfall, the core of it really in between Brooks and Hannah here, tracking mainly off to the east. But it's all pretty much said and done in Calgary. We're not looking at adding any huge totals anymore. We're just looking at on and off isolated showers as we head through the rest of today and early tomorrow morning, and then fog patches will develop. Yes, we are looking at a foggy morning, and then we have some sunshine in store for us. So in the morning hours, yes, fog patches will develop up the QE2, down Highway 2, Calgary included in this. Should clear at around 8 in the morning, and then we have sunshine for a good about of the morning and then in through the early afternoon hours. Later in the day, though, closer to the supper hours, as you can see by your timestamp, we are looking at small chance of some isolated showers up the QE2, Olds to Red Deer. Thunderstorms are possible. All right, here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 23, so much warmer tomorrow. And again, we should see a decent amount of sunshine. Check out Thursday, 27. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Wildlife experts are reminding people to be aware as bears continue to be very active right across the province. It comes after several bear sightings, including a Calgary couple who had a run-in over the weekend. On a hike to Troll Falls in Kananaskis country Saturday, the pair was followed by a grizzly along the trail. Experts say July is peak season for the buffalo berry crop, and bears are out there already trying to fatten up before hibernation.
Yeah, so right now we've got, like I said, a lot of bears in the Kananaskis Valley. So anywhere you go, you can encounter a bear. Just as a rough count of between reports and some of our collared bears, you know, I believe there was as many as, including cubs, 22 grizzly bears.
Wow, there are currently 7 bear warnings and closures in K-Country. Still to come, we're taking a closer look at crime in Canada. The number and severity of police-reported incidents is down overall, but what's it specifically like in Calgary? And remembering a metal legend, Black Sabbath frontman Ozzy Osbourne passes away. CTV News has obtained pictures of the vehicle police say was connected to a serious assault, leaving a 17-year-old boy last week hurt. The assault happened around 9:30 p.m. July 15th on 4th Avenue Northeast near Madigan Drive. The teenager was learning to park an SUV with his mom when 2 men in a white pickup truck aggressively approached them. The men got out of the truck and attempted to get into the SUV before attacking the boy, who was left with serious injuries. Police say the 2 men have not yet been identified, and anyone with information is asked to come forward. There has been a shift in the severity of crime across Canada. That's according to the most recent Statistics Canada numbers. But is Calgary seeing that same trend? Here's Jacqueline Wilson.
The number and severity of police-reported crime in Canada decreased by 4% from 2023 to 24. The shift follows 3 consecutive years of increases, according to the latest numbers from Statistics Canada.
So a number of years ago, we created what's called the Crime Severity Index. And for that, we look at the total volume and the seriousness of the offense.
A decrease in break-and-enters, child pornography, and motor vehicle thefts were among the top reasons for the change. Alberta dropped 9 points on the Crime Severity Index. Calgary's decreased 14% year over year.
One of the trends that's standing out for us is a fairly significant decrease in property-related crimes. And then just kind of the overall general trend downwards is very encouraging for us.
However, the number of reported hate crimes has increased for 6 years in a row, more than doubling in 2018.
Yeah, we're seeing a significant increase in hate crime reporting, and it's for a number of different factors. Geopolitical challenges across the globe, issues societally. But one of the things that I wish to celebrate and highlight is the fact that reporting is going up so much because it's becoming societally intolerable.
It's estimated only 1 in 5 hate crimes are reported to police. Inspector Jessica also points to a 4-year rise in shoplifting.
Beyond simply shoplifting, now dubbed organized retail crime. And so now you're seeing, rather than just a singular person stealing for their own gain, you're seeing them doing it as part of a larger network or doing it on behalf of somebody else, be it high-level fragrances, clothing, meat, alcohol, tools, or things that are then being resold on secondary sites or kind of in an underground market setting.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
The Calgary Police Service is analyzing the numbers and says it's compiled it with other data sets to change and improve Calgary's police service. Well, they're known for life in the desert, but maybe they'd prefer life at the beach. This guy sure loves to get a little wet. Our trending videos are still to come. The music world is reeling at news of the death of the energetic and controversial Ozzy Osbourne. He rose to fame in the 1970s as the frontman for Black Sabbath. His famous family is now asking for privacy after confirming their patriarch is gone. Just 3 weeks ago, he played in Black Sabbath's farewell gig in his hometown of Birmingham, England. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
The godfather of heavy metal, the Prince of Darkness. Ozzy Osbourne was a showman, a singer, and later a reality TV star who rose to fame in the 1970s as the frontman of Black Sabbath. Known for his iconic wail, Osbourne was an icon of the heavy metal genre he helped pioneer. Today, the Osbourne family said in a statement, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning. He was with his family and surrounded by love." Born John Michael Osbourne in Birmingham, England, Osbourne recorded more than half a dozen albums with Black Sabbath, including hits like Paranoid and War Pigs. But by 1979, his struggles with substance abuse were so severe, he was fired by the band. Mama, I'm coming home. Osbourne went on to have a successful solo career and was later inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, with both Black Sabbath and as a solo artist. Both beloved and controversial, Osbourne once bit off the head of a bat while on stage and was arrested for trying to strangle his wife while drunk. He later reconciled with his wife Sharon and became a reality TV dad to a whole new generation in the show The Osbournes, along with 2 of his 5 children, Jack and Kelly. In 2020, Osbourne announced he had Parkinson's disease and despite his health challenges, tried many times to return to the stage. Just weeks ago, he performed from a black throne on stage with Black Sabbath in his hometown of Birmingham. It was his first show in 20 years with the original band members, and it would be the last of his legendary life. Heather Wright, CTV News.
And the rocker is being remembered by music fans worldwide, including here in Calgary. Calgary metal fans greeted Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne at the airport on a visit in 2008. The pair was white-hatted and embraced the Western spirit ahead of the Monsters of Rock show at McMahon Stadium. Osbourne played several other shows here in Calgary, including at the Saddle Dome and Max Bell. He was even presented with a Flames jersey during his stop in 2003.
One of my favorites was seeing him at the Saddle Dome in 1996. Sounds like a fish story, front row, but he had this water cannon, and he looked me right in the eye and shot me right in the face with this gigantic water cannon, and I can still taste the water in that 5-year-old hose. It was fantastic.
Osbourne's final stop in Calgary was with Black Sabbath in March of 2016. He is a legend. All right, well, one of the animals at a U.S. sanctuary that can handle the heat the best is proving that just because he can doesn't mean he wants to. This is Apollo, and his caretakers in Pennsylvania thought, what could we get him? What's the perfect gift for a camel? How about a splash pad? They weren't even sure if he would totally like it, but he loves it. And now they're thinking, probably, gotta upgrade him to a pool, right?
He's so happy.
He's so happy.
There you go.
That's where he spends his hot days.
Yeah.
Well, you know how some people just kind of gravitate toward fun? It seems to work that way in the animal kingdom, too. I thought you might like this one. They say birds of a feather flock together. This pigeon's having a ball all on its own, though, putting its own spin on life.
And they're all just staring. What are you doing? The greatest
What are you doing, and when are you getting off so that we can try the ride?
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Disneyland, you know it's a pretty expensive day, so it's important to look for savings where you can find them. Aha, those Disney World poncho prices are a little steep, so you gotta get creative. These guys have realized teamwork makes the dream work. You get one poncho, because it's about $12 a poncho, and then everybody just hides under the poncho.
Share the poncho.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably even better that way, because otherwise it just blows around.
That's right. You can get at least 6 people under that poncho. That's pretty good. Well, still to come, a critical check-in on Canada-U.S. trade negotiations. Optimism from the PM, but warnings, too, that provinces need to do what they can at home. That's next.
All right, everybody, we are at the tail end of this. for at least a couple of days. So still isolated showers in the city right now, but things are starting to taper off and move on out. And showers are possible up until about midnight, then fog patches, and then, well, later in the day, temperatures will warm. But I will say this, it's cold now, and it will be a cold one to kick off the day tomorrow. Today's high, just 10 degrees, and that's also our current temperature, which is well below the normal of 23. And to show you how we fare compared to the rest of the country, well, our daytime high was the same daytime high that they had in Iqaluit. Oh, yes. So it's cold for sure, well below normal, and much cooler than the rest of the country, as you can see here, because off to the west of us, off to the east of us, many communities got into those 20s today. Okay, so the last big bout of more consistent, heavier rainfall is passing in between kind of Brooks and Hannah and tracking off to the east. And then we're done with this system for the most part. There's still isolated showers happening, but we're not really looking at adding any more significant totals to this. All right, your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix Rider, it's free. So when we talk about it being a cold night, yes, dropping to 6 overnight, that is definitely not a typical July low. 8 degrees by 8 a.m., so it's a cold start to the day. Fog patches developing overnight in through early tomorrow morning. And then it clears out. So by 8 a.m., we're looking at sunshine that will last into the early afternoon hours. Then the clouds will increase, and by the supper hours, we get into a small chance of some isolated showers, but nothing significant for Calgary. Okay, 29 degrees in Salmon Arm, in the 30s for Kamloops and Kelowna with a good amount of sunshine. Edmonton mainly cloudy, and 21 by the afternoon. Rocky Mountain House may see a late day thunderstorm. And Olds down through Calgary, High River, yes, we are looking at sunshine for a good chunk of the day, but later in the day, at least by about 4 in the afternoon, you notice the clouds increasing. 24 for Lethbridge, 23 for Medicine Hat tomorrow, and 23 for Calgary tomorrow as well. The hottest day of the next 10 will be Thursday at 27. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. We have breaking news from Calgary Police. Police have just announced charges in the death of Madison Cobb. The 23-year-old was shot while leaving work in Haysboro 3 days ago. Devin Bradley Malik is now charged with first-degree murder in relation to the death of Madison. She had applied for a restraining order against a man she broke up with in January, but she said wouldn't leave her alone. Rainfall overnight caused widespread flooding, closing part of Stony Trail during the morning commute. There were also damaged tires when vehicles drove through part of Glenmore that was submerged. And a warning from AHS about a potential measles exposure at the Alberta Children's Hospital on July 13th. It comes as the number of cases in the province climbs. Canadian leaders spent another day in Ontario's cottage country talking tariffs, Trump, and trade. The Prime Minister says his focus is still on getting a deal with the U.S. that is best for Canadians. But in the meantime, some provinces have taken the agreements upon themselves. Tim Brooke explains.
Before the Council of the Federation could gather Tuesday morning, 3 provinces announced their own agreements.
Thank you.
Alberta and Ontario welcomed Saskatchewan into their memorandum of understanding, calling for the construction of new east-west rail and pipelines.
How can we find a way to support each other, and then in addition to that, find a way to get to new markets?
The agreement will focus on advancing Canada's energy potential and expanding trade corridors to global markets.
We have to get rid of the regulatory burdens. That's what's holding us back.
Of course, other provinces, like BC and Manitoba, were part of the conversation during the Council's 2-hour behind-closed-doors meeting.
On principle, everybody's on the same page. Everybody believes that we should do more trade across provinces. Everybody believes that it would be good to get the tariffs out, but there's, I think, some skepticism as to whether it's realistic or not.
PM Mark Carney also briefed provincial and territorial leaders on an American threat to impose 35% tariffs on a wide variety of Canadian goods August 1st.
We are looking for the best deal for Canada. We are only going to accept the best deal for Canada.
The PM says he's still open to fast-tracking major projects that will benefit all Canadians. And so there's been some jockeying for position as leaders try to explain why their preferred project should take precedence.
He's got a new legislative session starting up in September, and we'll have a better idea of what kind of revisions he's going to make then.
The meetings wrap up Wednesday in Huntsville, Ontario. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be in Washington over the next few days meeting with American delegates. U.S. tariffs are set to kick in August 1st. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the long list of names on his by-election ballot is a blatant abuse of democracy. More than 150 candidates sponsored by the Longest Ballot Committee are registered to run against Poilievre in the Battle River Crowfoot by-election. Poilievre is seeking a seat in the House of Commons after losing his riding of Carleton in the spring election. The Longest Ballot Group also targeted that riding. The advocacy group has flooded other ballots in the past as a way to protest election rules. In a letter to the government House leader, Poilievre asked the Liberals to pass a law requiring a candidate to get signatures from 0.5% of a riding's population, not just 100 signatures. The party also wants each signature to be exclusive to one candidate and for riding agents to represent one person at a time. A new report finds taxes are the biggest expense for Canadian families. The report is from the Fraser Institute, and it says the average family in Canada spent about $38,000 in taxes last year. The report also says Canadian families spent more on taxes than on housing, food, and clothing combined. It says taxes have grown faster than any other expenditure for an average Canadian family. Enbridge is adding to its renewable energy resources with a $900 million solar project in Texas. The Calgary-based company announced the 600-megawatt Clear Fork project will be built near San Antonio. It will supply the data center operations from Meta platforms. Meta owns social media and messaging platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Clear Fork is expected to be online in the summer of 2027. U.S. stocks hit another milestone today as Washington signaled it's making progress in trade talks. Here's BNN Bloomberg's Andrew Bell.
Hello there. America's broad S&P 500 stock index hit a new record high. That's after the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, said that he'll meet next week in Stockholm with his Chinese counterparts as they embark on a third round of talks aimed at extending a tariff truce. The Treasury chief told Bloomberg that, quote, trade is in a very good place with China. Yields on U.S. bonds fell, which often indicates that investors are less nervous about inflation. But there are clouds on the tariff front. Reuters said the European Union is exploring a broader set of countermeasures against the U.S. as prospects faded for an acceptable agreement. Toronto stocks rose, but they were still just down from Thursday's record high. Heavily weighted Shopify declined. It was cut to hold by an analyst at Loop Capital who said the shares look richly priced at around 15 times revenue. On the markets, the Canadian dollar was strong. It changed hands at 73.5 US cents, up about 0.4 of a cent. West Texas Intermediate oil traded at $65.31, down 64 cents. Our latest fix on Western Canadian Select oil has it at $53.60, up 21 cents. And the TSX finished at 27,364.43, up just under 47 points. That's the latest in business. I'm Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
It's a one-of-a-kind performance, not just for audience members, but also for members of Alberta Ballet. Ballet in the Badlands is a one-night-only event this Friday, hosted at the Badlands Amphitheatre in Drumheller. Today, the dancers were in session, practicing in the ballet's adaptation of Don Quixote Act 3. Dancers say they are thrilled to be performing outdoors at the 2,500-seat Natural Amphitheatre, adding it will be a new challenge. They'll also hope Mother Nature doesn't play spoiler.
Especially those of us in point shoes. Like, our shoes do not hold up in wet conditions, and it can make the floor really slippery with the type of marley that we use. So its safety is definitely a concern should there be any rain. But we're just really excited to perform.
Tickets for Ballet in the Badlands are on sale now online or day of at the amphitheatre's gate. Ask any kid, riding your bike tastes like freedom. That feeling actually never goes away. Just ask these seniors reliving their youth with someone else doing the pedaling. The Toronto Raptors are kicking off their preseason in Calgary. They'll be holding their training camp at the U of C from September 30th to October 3rd as they gear up for the season. The team will then head to Vancouver to play Denver in their first preseason game. The last time the Raptors were in Calgary was a preseason game against Denver in 2016. NBA basketball superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is set to be honored by his hometown next month. Shai Rally Day will be held at Ontario's Hamilton Stadium on August 7th. SGA will be presented with a key to the city, and there'll be a free public rally. The Oklahoma City Thunder star became the first Canadian to win MVP, Finals MVP, and lead the league in scoring. The town of High River has a program called Cycling Without Age. It takes seniors and people with mobility challenges on bike rides, but they don't use a regular two-wheeler. Instead, the passengers sit up front, the pedalers do all the work, and everyone enjoys a little wind through their hair. Here's Kevin Fleming.
The weather isn't ideal, but it's not stopping Edie Simonton and Dolores Rayburn from heading out on a ride. The two are covered up and protected from the rain, while Claude Laflamme pilots the trishaw.
We need the fresh air and being able to get around in the outside because you're inside all the time.
The two are out for a short half-hour ride, but can go for an hour on a sunny day.
What does it feel like? Freedom. Yeah, like you're doing it yourself.
Laflamme has volunteered piloting the trishaw for over a year and enjoys riding around High River because it's flat and there's a beautiful trail system.
Also, there's a wonderful downtown and we cycle. We can stop for coffee, stop for ice cream, lemonade stands. So we have a wonderful time.
The Cycling Without Age program is a hit at Seasons High River and its 180 residents.
So every Tuesday, they provide rides for us at 2 p.m. and we have 4 people that get to go on that wonderful ride, and we're all the way booked up until mid-August, so it's very special.
The town of High River purchased 2 bikes in 2017 and started slow with 3 trained pilots. Now it has 11 volunteer pilots with others signed up and training, and that means more rides for residents.
With the goal of just reconnecting our seniors and people with different levels of accessibility back to their community and back to nature, and just getting them out and enjoying the wind in their hair.
Laflamme enjoys riding the electric assist bike and sharing stories with passengers. He's hopeful to take advantage of the program when he needs it. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, High River.
Cycling Without Age operates in 12 Calgary care homes. You can find out more information on our website. You have to ignore the weather, because if you got down on the weather, you'd never get out there.
Yeah, you know, I've had enough. I'm sure a lot of people.
Bring back the sunshine.
We've had more than enough rainfall now for a little bit. Yeah, time for the bright stuff and the warm stuff, and not having a daytime high that's the same as Iqaluit. 23 degrees will be our high tomorrow. It'll take some time to warm up, though, so be prepared for a cold start to the day with fog patches, then sunshine, then some warmth, and Thursday will be the hottest day at 27, maybe even 28 of the next 10 days. So then by Friday and Saturday, maybe some late day instability possible. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Graham Bond sent this one in last week, but I'm using it today to just tell you, yes, this is what it will look like in some parts out there with fog patches in many parts of southern Alberta, including Calgary.
It's pretty, though. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you tomorrow.